Hey do. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas. So just got back from a funeral of a friend from high school. Um, you know, no one really expects young people to die, let alone people that you may not have seen in a few years. You just don't expect those things to happen. But we all know that death is a part of the circle of life. You're born, you live, and then you die. Um, that's just how it is. And as a Christian, you know that to be absent in the body is to be present with the Lord. So that's it's bittersweet for us that are still here on earth because we're like, whoa, we're missing somebody. But it's good because then that you know that that person is in heaven, especially if they're a Christian. You know that that person's in heaven, and they don't have to deal with the world and all of its craziness. But it can be hard to understand death sometimes. I know the preacher that gave the word today. He said that I think the father came to him and was like, "Why did God take her and not me? She had everything together. She had everything going for herself. Why didn't he take me instead of her?" And the preacher said, because I don't know if it was directly to him, but it's in general that sometimes God takes people that do have everything together, the people that do believe in him, the people that, those Christians, he takes them and not the others because he's giving you a chance to get your life right with him. And I don't think that people see it that way. They just see it as God's taking this person away from me. God's giving you a chance. There is hope in death. There is death can be quite profound if you really look at it from different angles, especially from a spiritual angle. It can be quite profound. Like Lisa Left Eye Lopez. She was in a car accident. She was the only one that died. Why was she the only one that died, not everyone else? You got to see that God has a plan. We have to understand that we are not going to understand God's plans. We're not going to know what he's going to do. We might not agree with what he does, but that's fine because that's God. He is the author of our lives. He can do whatever he wants to do with whomever he wants to do it with our lives. And we have to remember that. And it's not always easy when someone has died, period. Death in general, it's just not easy. Whether you're close to that person or a family member, it's not easy. But I think also that people have to realize that everyone has a purpose for their life. And the crazy thing about it is, you might think that it's just for one thing, but you can kind of see it as like, oh, this happens so that this can happen, and so that and that and that. Like, you have no idea the purpose for your life, how it affects other people's purposes for other people's lives. It's like it connects all in one, and it's just amazing. But y'all remember Paul in the Bible? He was arrested, and they were in jail, and then there was an earthquake, and it shook. It was so powerful that it shook the shackles off of them, and they stayed in jail because they know that they were arrested. But the earthquake was so powerful to shake the shackles off of someone, but it didn't kill them. How powerful is that? That just goes to show that no matter what the situation is, God still has a purpose, and he's not going to end your life until that purpose has been fulfilled, because Paul went on to do this and that, and then he later died. But all these things had to happen. And I know that you can look back over your life and look at all the near-death experiences that you may have had, the close calls that you may have had, the diagnosis that you may have had that should have been like, you're done, 6 feet under. But God's grace and his mercy extended and showered down on you. And the fact that you had a certain purpose to fulfill kept you. That is just so amazing. So you really have to know what your purpose is on this life. Yes, if you have the education and the means to go start a business, be CEO, go on and do that. But you need to know your purpose from a spiritual standpoint. What are you on this earth for spiritually? What is your purpose? What are you doing for the kingdom? Because it's all for the upbuilding of God's kingdom. So what are you here for? You have to go to Christ to find out what your purpose on this earth is for, and then find out what he armed you with. What gifts did he give you so that you can fulfill that purpose, so that you're not just on this earth walking around not knowing what you're supposed to do. Figure those things out. Well, not figure them out, but go to God and ask him, what's your purpose? What's your purpose for his kingdom, the church you're at, even for your job? What's your purpose here? Help me to fulfill my purpose. What gifts did you give me so that I can fulfill the will of God? Do those things so that you can know what you're here for, and so that you can ultimately fulfill the will of God. But we have to understand that even if we aren't compliant with what God's will is for our lives, he can use you, or he can use whomever to get it done. Because ultimately, God's will be done, regardless if you're a willing participant or what. His will be done. So you might as well just go with what God is saying. But I just wanted to come on and give that encouragement to someone, whomever, in whatever situation you are. It's not just about death. It's about life in general. The ending of a relationship, the ending of a job, the ending of school, whatever the situation may be, understand that there is a purpose. And our time frame is not the same as God's time frame. What we see as short might be so long to God, and he's ready to bring someone home, or he's ready to end something, or he's ready for you to jump into the next thing. But we can't, and that's the whole thing. We can't understand God's mind. We don't know what he has going on. He is the ultimate creator. He is the ultimate everything. So we don't know. We just have to be able to trust him and know that he makes no mistakes. He hasn't yet, and I know that he won't, because he can't change. He makes no mistakes. He keeps his word. He's faithful and true, and we just have to be able to trust him. Even when we don't understand, you should have that relationship with him that you can go to God and say, God, I really don't understand why I just lost my job. Or I really don't understand why this person just died. Or I really don't understand why this and that is happening in my finances. I really don't understand why my house is being foreclosed. You can go to God. When you have a relationship with him, people say don't question God. Don't question his power. Don't question his ability. Don't doubt him. No, but you can, God, I really don't understand. Please help me to understand this. I really don't know what to do. Please help me. I don't know what to do. You can go to God like that. When you have a personal relationship with him, you can go to him. That's what Jesus came down for, to break the veil, so that we have direct access to God, so that you can have these conversations, so that you can go to him in prayer and ask these questions, that you can seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, so that you can do these things. So don't lose sight of that in the midst of whatever you're going through. Know that you can go to God and have these conversations. You can seek the answers that you're looking for. They might not be the ones you want to hear, but understand that God knows what he's doing. He has the world in his hand, his unchanging hand, and he knows what he's doing. So I just wanted to come and encourage somebody, if not myself, that God knows what he's doing. Even when we don't know what we're doing, he knows what he's doing. So we have to rest in that. We have to rest in his power and his ability and trust him. And if anything, look back and remember some things that have happened to you before. How God has came through, and how he has turned things around, and how he has given clarity and revelation and restoration to your previous situations. Understand that the God that did that then can still do that now. And if you are too crazy to remember anything, go to the Bible and look at the stories. Those aren't just, stories that we read to our children, but they're stories to encourage our faith. They're stories to help build our faith. What he did then, he can still do now. So we have to remember that and trust in his word. So yeah, it's a gloomy day here in Central Florida. It was raining a little earlier. Inside, cozy kind of day. So yeah, hope everything's going well with everybody. If you love someone, please tell them. Cannot stress that enough. You never know when it's going to be your last moment with a person or people or your family or your friends, whomever. You never know when it's going to be your last time seeing them or their last time seeing you. You never know that. That's why you have to let the people get the flowers while they can still smell them. You have to let people know that they're appreciated and that they're loved. You never know what a, hey man, I love you, or a hug, or, you never know what those little simple things might mean to a person, because you have no idea what's going on in their world. So we have to let people know that we love them. If anything else, let people know that you love them. So I love you all, and I hope that you all have a great day and a Happy New Year. Bye.